Hello, everybody. We're back. We are live here in the workshop on the repaired MacBook. Thank you, everybody who contributed towards that repair. Absolutely a first-class effort. I genuinely thought I might get half towards it, and I'll run it for a week and see what happens. Everybody raised the money in 2 hours. It was genuinely quite astonishing. So I had to actually switch off the crowdfunding after 2 hours. So thank you, everybody. It's so much easier doing it from the MacBook than it is on an iPhone and whatnot. So yeah, genuinely, really taken aback by the generosity of people. So thank you, everybody. I have put up on the Facebook page, there is the roll of honor of those who contributed. There were more people who wanted to contribute, but unfortunately I'd already switched the fundraising off because we'd already reached the limit of what was needed for the repair. So but very generous of you, and yeah, I'm still quite blown away by everybody's generosity and just how swift they pitched in. So thank you, everybody. I will continue to thank you on future live shows, but yeah, absolutely fantastic. So we're here in the workshop on the MacBook. How exciting. And yeah, it's like I say, this is just a short show tonight just to thank everybody and also field your questions, because inevitably there will be questions. Field your questions and comments and things. So I'm just seeing here, Paul Cave says hello there. Travis Thompson says testing. Mark Ryan, evening. Hobby time. Hi guys. Mark Ryan says good stuff. Glad the I am Co is back up. Thank you, Mark. It's certainly nice to be back up again. We've done a couple of really ad hoc shows in the last few weeks, and I mean ad hoc. They really were flying by the seat of your pants live shows. But it's, yeah, here we are. Rob Monfils says General Kenobi. Very good, Rob. Rob's been watching too many Star Wars films. And yeah, sorry, let me just there it is. There it is. Back to all its glory on the workbench. So thank you, everybody. I had a word with the rest of the team, and we've decided to, if you'll pardon the pun, scale back for now the number of broadcasts we were doing. I think we were all getting a little bit burnt out from doing 2 shows a week. So the chances are we will just do the Sunday service, and then I'll probably do some pop-up lives as and when the muse takes me. So that's kind of the plan at the moment, folks. I'm sorry, I'm just having a quick read of the comments here. Ben Brown says hi all. Hello, Ben. Yeah, so that's going to be the plan, really. and I still need to kind of get back into the rhythm of setting up the other camera here, the workbench camera, and just getting used to doing all that. But we are back in a fashion. So again, thank you everybody. That really was a fantastic effort. A fantastic effort by everybody. What shall we? Let's talk about something else now, shall we? So, if any of you got any questions, I'm going to keep this live for probably about another 25 minutes. So it's your opportunity to have a Q&A. Model Making Haggis says, "Evening all. Glad you have your Mac back." Yeah, me too. Model Making Haggis. Thank you very much. Yeah, so if you got any questions, just ping them away. It could be anything and everything. Paul Cave says, that's very kind of you. He says, "Take your time, JM, no hurry. Hope to see you at the Avon show." Yes. Now, I do hope to be at the Avon show. I know when I was talking with Drew on the show on Sunday, we are hatching a plan for him to come up here on the Sunday, and then we'll drive to the Avon show, because I can't drive at the moment. The DVLA decided that yeah, I have to surrender my license for 6 months until the doctors give me the all clear. So brilliant. So lots of walking at the moment, and I'm very grateful to my friend Lisa, who's allowed me to sawn the car on her drive. Unfortunately, my drive already has a 1 Mini on it, so so yeah, so I'm very grateful to her for doing that for me. Whilst I was in the car on Tuesday, I did recover from the boot a pair of walking boots that I haven't even worn yet. So definitely will be lots more walking at the moment. Yeah, and also trying to get on with some modelling. We are now into BBC Proms season, and which, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a 2-month classical music. Well, I say classical music, they do have kind of pop music and other stuff, but it's a 2-month music festival on BBC Radio 3. So it culminates in the second week in September with a show called The Last Night, the Proms, which is just a big jamboree, really. But yeah, so hopefully, now that we're in prom season, I will be trying to do some workshop time here, just trying to kind of get back into the rhythm of things. I've got projects to get on with. So I've got to stop doing as well, because you could edit them all together. So I've got projects that to get on with. In fact, bear with. Oh, goodness me. Old man sounds. Oh, chief of which is this. Goodness me. It's like the Marie Celeste coming back here to suddenly finding all these projects that I started, and there they were. So there is that's the Austin K2 at the moment. That's the KT at the moment. So the interior is all kind of primed and painted. We've also got some of that done as well. I know I should set up the other camera, but I'm very lazy tonight. And yeah, we've got, I say we've, you know what I mean. I've got, the model is more or less kind of, it's ready for the next stage. Rob Monfils makes a very, very good point. Rob Monfils says, "It's nearly Airfix August, isn't it?" It is, Rob. We definitely are going to be doing Airfix August. So fingers crossed. Yeah, we're going to be doing Airfix August. So I've got a head start because I've got this Austin KT ambulance that I started months ago. So yeah, we will crack on with that. That should be good fun. And Captain Magenta says, "Cripes, pop up JM. Be careful what you wish for." But yeah, anyway, cheers, me dears. So I've got the Airfix Austin Katie to get on with. I've also got, he's looking around the workshop here. I've got that Italeri Kugelwagen that I started a few months ago as part of my own one-man group build. And yeah, and there are other bits and pieces. I'm just looking around here. Goodness me. There are some other bits and pieces that just need to be finished off. And of course, the elephant in the room is we've got Telford coming up in a few months' time. That will come round quicker than we imagine. I haven't booked any rooms yet for Telford, so sorry about that, Drew. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. As you can imagine, I have been a little bit preoccupied with other things. Captain Magenta says, "Laughley, the Laughley's finished, mate. That was all done beginning of the year. Shall I go and get it? I've just got to unbuckle myself for a second here. So let me go and get the Laughley, just to prove that it's. Is this microphone working? By the way, it should be. Oh. There we go. There's the Laughley. It's all done. What a brilliant little kit that was. It is. It really, that was more fun than I imagined it was going to be. And yeah, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, ICM, the Laughley V15, absolutely fantastic. Dean Trower says, "What did you finish the tank you were building at Telford last year?" No, I'll tell you why. Because Marcus Nichols, and we're putting the Nick part of Nichols into that, somehow managed to borrow some bits from my kit, which I only found out a bit when I got home. And he contacted me and said, "Oh yeah, I've messed up some bits on my kit. I've appropriated some bits from yours." So thank you, Marcus. So yeah, I will have a word with Mr. Farmer of the hobby company to try and get the missing bits done. So yeah, the Comet is kind of ready for paint. It just needs these extra bits. So James Milne says, "What about the Western Whirlwind?" What about the Western Whirlwind? Indeed, yeah, that I started that in a flash of enthusiasm and kind of lost interest in it. But I do apologise. And Mark Smith says, "Did you say some months, years, Mark, years ago that you thought the Italeri 72nd scale F5E is the best in scale?" I think it is. I think what's the choice there? You've got the Italeri kit and you've got the Airfix kit. And bear in mind they're both of a similar vintage from the early 1980s. I'm just trying to think. I'm sure Hobby Boss have done an F5E, which I think I've got, and it's got engraved panel lines, but let's just say the market is still out there for a superlative F5E. So yeah, John Huston says, "Whoops, late again." No, More than welcome, John. More than welcome. This, like I say, this is just an ad hoc show to say thank you to everybody. Mike Williams says, hello, everyone. Hello, Mike. Jim Aldergott says, greetings and salutations from Chicago. So I forgot where I am. That's understandable, folks. People have been drilling into my head. But yeah, we will be trying to play catch up on some of the older projects here. So also a big hello to my mum if she's watching. Hello, mum. Everybody say hello to my mum, by the way. She will be delighted to have people say hello to her, which means I get it in the neck the next time I see her. But never mind. Yeah. So yeah, I've got catch up. I've got so much catch up to do. Bear in mind that when I came back, I think I mentioned this. I got a full year's worth of work out of Hornby. Thank you, Hornby. So I've been head down working on that at the moment. Can't tell you what it is, but it's all exciting stuff, I can tell you. And yeah, so I've been blitzing away at that. And if I'm honest, you'd think coming out of hospital, and I don't want to say cheated death, but it was touch and go for a while. And having come out of hospital, you'd think I would be full of the joys of life. It's almost a form of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like some kind of PTSD, that having been through this experience and people telling me how touch and go it was, and my month in hospital, to be honest with you, I have been finding it hard to adjust to civilian life. And yeah, there are moments where I really big depression, I think is a good way of putting it. So yeah, it's hard work at the moment. Doing live shows is a good way of beating that. Work is a very good way of beating that. Modeling is a very good way of beating that. I just need to pull my finger out and get on with some. So yeah, it's been and continues to be a traumatic time, but I am convinced I have the tools to deal with it. So fingers crossed. Anyway, we've got some Jim Aldergott. I like Jim's thinking here. He says, "How about a live show from the Blitz Tea Room?" Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Jim. I'm up for that. Yeah, I'll do that. I just settle for a cup of tea in the Blitz Tea Room, but yeah. Robert Johnson says F5 1/48 scale kinetic 1 and 2 seater. Is that what you're working on, Robert? Joe Pestaglici says late hello to everyone. And Ron Huston says returning to the mundane is progress of sorts. It is. And Captain Magenta says tools. That's no way to speak about Drew and Spencer. Very good. Very good. I see we've got the comics in tonight. So that's the plan, so to speak. Like I say, we will only be doing one live show a week at the moment, but I might just throw in a few very odd, some odd pop-up lives every now and then, just for my own amusement, and if anything turns up, or there are any developments or new kits and things, then it's something we can talk about. But Colin Stratton says, glad to see you back, John. I've missed your verbal ramblings. Yeah, trust me, you won't. By the end of this show, you'll be thinking, we wish he had lockjaw. So yeah, that's the plan. That is the rough plan. Anyway, cheers, me dears. And Mick Wilson says, hi, that's very kind of him. He says, hi, Jem. You're pulling through the other side of it all. I'm having a bit of a phase with the Airfix vintage releases. SM79 about to go on the bench and lining up the Ulster, Buffalo and Whirlwind. I don't really know why, but I think the simplicity cheers me up. What's your thoughts on them out of curiosity? Well, I've built all three. No, I've only built the Ulster and the Buffalo. I built the Buffalo over 30 years ago, and I've built the Ulster, very posh. I built the Ulster 25 years ago. I remember with the Ulster, the clear parts were particularly challenging, but thankfully they've tooled up new clear parts, so that should take care of that issue. But I enjoyed them both. I think the Buffalo it's a bit rivety, but I think it's a cracking little kit. I did enjoy the Ulster, and yeah, I would say crack on with them. Captain Magenta says, any idea when the Bond bug is due? No idea, Captain Magenta. You'll just have to keep an eye. I'm sure when it's close to a release, Hornby will flash something up on social media. I've got to say, I've got some test moldings of it, and it does look in spectacularly good condition. Highly surprising, given that the kit has not been on the market for decades, the best part of 40 years. So, and yeah, it's do you know what? I've just realized I need to. I'm just gonna have to get up and go and get something again. So bear with me. Back in a moment. Oh. Ah. One of the most fun kits I've built in recent years. I absolutely love that from start to finish. It's even the figure painting. I'm not a figure painter, but that to me, that's the Airfix Beach Buggy, by the way, for those wondering. That to me epitomizes the sheer joy of building models. This was modeling like when I was a kid, just suddenly building something out of my comfort zone. And yeah, that I would heartily recommend anybody who's in a bit of a modeling funk, grab one of these. It's still an absolutely stellar kit for its age. And the gold that I used on that was the Tamiya lacquer. I can't remember what the number is, LP something or other. But that was just put over a base of white. But yeah, that's one of my favorite models from the last long time. Absolutely brilliant. So I would heartily recommend that. Like I say, if you're in a bit of a rut, give it a go. I just think it's great. Yeah, and when the Bond bug comes back, I would definitely be building one of those. So Mike Williams, he says the reissue of the Airfix Buffalo is molded in a bit harder, darker grey plastic. It looks lovely, rivets and all. Well, there's the thing. James Tatum says, hey, JM, I just want you to know I'm here for you. You're not alone. Take it one step at a time. Reach out if you need to talk or anything else. You matter, and brighter days will come. Stay strong. It's very kind of you, James. I do appreciate the support network I've got out there. And Captain Magenta says, I've got a slightly unhinged idea about building several Bond bugs painted in the classic liveries of F1 cars from the 80s and 90s. I like the sound of that. And Colin says, built the beach buggy when I was around 12. Sticky, gross orange paint went everywhere. I'm glad I built it in my relative dotage, because I think as a kid I would have really struggled with that. But like I say, I absolutely love that kit. And yeah, when the Bond Bug comes out, oh hello Moth, got an additional presenter here tonight. There it is. There we go. Yeah, when it comes out, I will definitely be building one. Jim Altergott says, looking forward to the Armour Hurricane Mark II. Andy's hobby headquarters did an unboxing of it recently. Looks great. I do believe Mike Williams has got a copy of that kit, and he shared some images with us. So thanks, Mike. That's very kind of you. Sorry, folks, just got to have a quick swig of tea here. So, yeah, the Armour Hurricane, it's something that I'm going to be looking out for at the Avon show. Not that I haven't got enough models to build here at the moment, but I'm just like everybody else. I still continue to buy them out of curiosity. And I'm just having a quick catch up on some of the comments. Blum, 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 blum. Oh, sorry, right. Colin is clarifying here. He says gloss, not gross. And Robert says, great to see you on your feet. Do you lighten the color for smaller scale models and dark and larger scale models, scale perspective? Do you know what? I do tend to lighten things for smaller scales. And I have found that certainly German Panzer Grey and to some extent even olive drab look better if you lighten them. Now, the color fanatics will be holding their swatches up and saying, no, you shouldn't do it. Personal preference. I think it looks better. I think especially 72nd scale always looks better if you lighten the colors. So yeah, I think there is a logic to it, and there is a method to the madness. So yeah, I would excuse me, I would say if you've never lightened colors on a model, give it a go. See how it looks. I think you may be surprised at how much it, especially on smaller models, how much it suddenly just makes them look, it's going to sound weird, on smaller models, if you lighten the colors, it makes them look bigger. Anyway, folks, that's going to have to be it for tonight. Well, I said that we keep it to a strict 30 minutes, and we have just punched through the 30-minute mark. So, as I said, this was just a short pop-up live to thank everybody for their support and for putting their hands in their pockets to get the old MacBook back. There it is, back in action. So this is what we're broadcasting from. So once again, thank you everybody who proved to be heroes in every sense of the phrase. Fingers crossed, we will be back on Sunday, in theory. Until then, it just remains for me to say thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and hopefully we'll see you Sunday. So until then, bye for now.